Okay, now, back in history a little bit, I was talking to Fred and Janet in 1997 when we used to meet for brown bag sessions in Fred's office and talk about these things. We had enough people to be manageable, 6 sometimes, never more than twice that. We all began to tumble to the fact that it's not retail that's driving Taos County. It's not tourism. It's in-migrants. It's migration, which at that time wasn't understood. So we rounded up some money by going to every Saturday to going to a Kellogg Foundation, I think it was, and picking an interest subject and studying it for 8 weeks. If you did that, they'd give you $10,000 at the end of the thing to invest it. So we took that and gave it to the University of New Mexico and had them do a study, which the Chamber has. Oh, thank you. You can tell. Thanks. I'll talk about BEBR, Bureau of Business and Economic Research at the university. And I did a master's degree at night school, 8 years with them. So I know those people, and I know they're just first class. And this is their world, these numbers. So they have a demographer, a couple of them on the staff. And they did a study. And it's well worth reading. It cuts off at 2000. See, it cuts off right here when I want to talk about in-migrants. Yeah. See, in the up until 2000, the percentage of the gain, the total gain that came from migration was 3%. So remember, on personal income, proprietors, twice the state average. It's a different animal here than it is anywhere else. People who make their money, their income, their personal income, all their income from non-employment sources are big here. Let's move on to population and demographics. So I did mention, what happened was, starting with the 1990 census, the Census Bureau was able to get access to Internal Revenue Service data, not your individual data, but they could begin to look now at income levels, movers, non-movers, where the movers came from. And this one shocked me when I put this together. I said, first of all, I made some dumb mistake, which is fairly frequent at my age. And I got Dick to check me, and this we'll talk about this. This is real. What we're doing now, and we've got some time periods down here, which have to be last decade or so. This is median aggregate gross income per year per IRS return. So it's a proxy, if you will, for income. It's not the same exactly, for example, but it's not far off. It's in the latest Taos County. But that's a median aggregate gross income per year in dollars. Divided by the number of IRS returns. If you're an out-migrant, you're an in-migrant, you don't move at all, or you come from a different state. And what you see is this line right here. That's neat. That's a nice, healthy increase in family income as a period of time. But if you look at what out-migrants and in-state migrants were doing, it was driven by these two lines, which are total in-migrants and in-migrants from another state. So that was really controlling this curve and making Taos look a lot. But what happened is, remember now, that's 2008, I only have the latest data. So the latest piece of data I got said, uh-oh, what's up? Is it different people coming to Taos? Is it different? The numbers are down a little bit, but the composition is currently quite different. Yes, Fred. On the total economy of attracting and holding some residents, if you're in this Mountain West, which Taos fits, regime, now this wouldn't apply to everybody, but he looked at that. He had to make an assumption. He said, in-migration adds 10% to the region's population over 5 years. Well, I think we're way above that, but at least got over that threshold. So shove it up with Steve's talking. So he divided all the impacts down into half a dozen categories. He forgot to put any footnotes in his book. So I got a hold of it and said, I can't make any sense out of this. So I got to meet Tom, and we became correspondents for a while. And he gave me the footnotes. So I was able then to go back and apply it to see if it applied to Taos and all that. But let me just tell you what he found in his model. This is adopted from this table down here, 96. He's written more and better since. There's 6 categories. Rather than define them all, let me jump to the one I think you're talking about, the largest one for Taos. And this is a savings of these people who come in. And how many of you here came in 1985? Bought sold your house in Albuquerque, for example. Sold it for more than you should have gotten, but you weren't about to give that to the government. So when you invest in Taos, you have a little more to invest than you would in a quote-unquote normal place. So you get a lot, you ski a lot. Ski belly gets awful dark. You say, I'm going to move out, build a house. I'm going to be here the rest of my time. I'm going to build a house. You don't go to Albuquerque to get your favorite contractor. You talk to Mark Wilson, my case. He used to be a bartender when we were skiing up Ski Valley, but he went into construction and paid a very good established contractor. But you build a Taos house. And that's just savings. You're spending that. Remember, these people don't have a wage and salary anymore. They got dividends, interest, and rent. Their transfer payments are not going to build any houses. No. But this is what happened. But what really happened is they built that house, but then they lived here. So now what do they want? Landscaping. Good publications. Down the list, services. And they had the means, the discretionary. The discretionary means to do that. What I'm afraid, Fred, is, and you know a lot more about this than I, that discretionary income among this group of people, and this is large people now. You get 2 decades in a row at 10,000 people each. You know, that's part of the population. And you look at the census data coming out, the community I live in now is no longer Hispanic. It's over 50% non-Hispanic. When I came, it was 80% Hispanic. They haven't left, there's more people who come in. People are different. And we've got, this is the end of my pitch, we've just got to understand, and I want to use the wrong word, but it communicates, the anatomy of Taos County from an economic jobs, not only jobs, but the great thing that brought all these people here is amenities. It was just amenity driven, and it still is. But their amenities are different. There's 82. Me, I can't ski with any confidence anymore. In fact, I'm smart, I don't ski at all. But a decade ago, man, a good fraction of my expenses were going right into these ski shops. What happened last week? Outdoor shop closed. Why did they close? need to talk to him. But really, this is kind of heartfelt. I love those places, you could tell, I hope, despite giving you all this bad news. But we may be at one of these terrible inflection points that I've been talking about. And so when we come out, let's come out the way we want it to come out, not the way some of these forces could pressure it into going.
I just really want to thank Bill, and I'd like everybody to give Bill and Dick a big hand. But what they've done over the years, and bringing Dick in, he has really helped kind of swing this thing up again, and we are so pleased from the Taos County Chamber of Commerce that we've got a couple of resources like this in our community to be able to give us this kind of information. I don't think there's anywhere else in New Mexico that a community that even comes close to the kind of in-depth economic information that we have to help us to move into the future. And so once again, thank you, gentlemen, for being with us and for sharing your knowledge. And with that, see you next month, the first Friday in